Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, knowing one wrong step could send your entire life crashing down. That's where I am right now. My name is Eunice, and I am caught in a web of love, betrayal, and secrets so deep. I'm not sure how to escape. 5 pregnancies, a married pastor, and a man ready to give me a fresh start. But in a single moment, it all came crashing down. Now, just days before my wedding, I've lost everything. Or have I? Let me tell you how I got here, and maybe you can help me find a way out. My story is one I never imagined would be mine. It's a story filled with mistakes, love, and regret. I don't know how I got here, but I know I need advice. I need someone to tell me what to do before I ruin my life completely. It all started with Pastor Samuel. He wasn't just any pastor. He was someone I respected deeply. At first, I never saw him as anything more than a spiritual leader. But slowly, things changed. We got close, too close. He would always give me special attention, telling me I was different from other girls in the church. He was always there for me, willing to listen to me and ready to help. But somewhere along the line, the conversations shifted. They became more personal, more intimate. It started with small touches. His hand would linger a little too long on my shoulder after prayers. His eyes would hold mine a little too intently. At first, I brushed it off, telling myself I was imagining things. But then, one evening, he asked to meet me privately. He said it was for more personal counseling. I knew I shouldn't have gone, but something in me wanted to. I was drawn to him, to the way he made me feel special, different from everyone else. We met at a discreet hotel on the outskirts of town, a place he assured me no one from the church would recognize. That night, everything changed. Pastor Samuel wasn't just a spiritual leader I knew. He was a man who desired me in ways I hadn't expected. The way he touched me, whispered into my ears, made me feel alive. The passion between us was undeniable, overwhelming, and before I knew it, we were wrapped in each other's arms. It didn't stop there. The more we met, the more intense it became. We would sneak off to secret locations, hotels, his cars, sometimes even the back room of the church when no one was around. Pastor Samuel had a way of making me feel like I was the only woman in the world, even though I knew deep down I wasn't. He was married and he had a family, but when he was with me, all that seemed to disappear. Each time we were together, it felt like the world stood still. His touch was both gentle and demanding, his kisses filled with hunger and longing. I craved him in a way I had never craved anyone before. The thrill of the secrecy only fueled our desires, making every moment we stole together feel more intense, more forbidding. But after every encounter, the guilt would wash over me like a heavy wave. I knew what we were doing was wrong, but I couldn't stop. I was trapped in this cycle of passion and regret, unable to pull myself away. And then the pregnancy started. The first time I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I knew Pastor Samuel couldn't afford a scandal, and I wasn't ready to face the consequences. He was furious when I told him. He begged me to get rid of it, to think about his family, his position in the church. I was too scared to argue, so I went through with the abortion. I told myself it was for the best, that it was a mistake I wouldn't make again, but it happened again. And again, 3 more times, I found myself pregnant with his child. And each time, I made the same painful decision to end it. The guilt was eating me alive, but the passion we shared was too strong to walk away from. Every time I tried to distance myself, Pastor Samuel would pull me back in, promising me the world, making me believe that what we had was special. Now, here I am, pregnant for the 5th time, but this time, things are different. I've met someone, John. He's everything Pastor Samuel isn't. He's kind, caring, and ready to build a future with me. He doesn't know about my past, and I planned to keep it that way. John wants to marry me, to relocate us to Canada for a fresh start. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I could escape this toxic web I have been caught in, but Pastor Samuel won't let me go. When I told him about John and our plans to get married, he was livid. He threatened to expose me, to tell everyone about our relationship if I went ahead with the wedding. He said there was no way I could marry another man while carrying his child. I was desperate. I told him if he exposed me, I would expose him to his wife and the church, but he didn't care. He said there was no way I could take his pregnancy to another man. I thought I could manage it, that I could still marry John and leave everything behind. But a few days before the wedding, John came to visit me unexpectedly. He wanted to surprise me, to spend some time together before our big day. But instead of finding me alone, he found me with Pastor Samuel. We were in the middle of one of our secret encounters, lost in the passion we couldn't seem to control. John caught us red-handed. I have never seen so much hurt in someone's eye. He didn't say a word, just turned and walked away. Now I am left with nothing but the mess I have created. I am pregnant with Pastor's child, and my wedding to John is just days away. He hasn't called or responded to any of my messages. I don't know if I have lost him for good. Pastor Samuel is still insisting that I can't marry anyone else, but I know I can't continue like this. What should I do? Should I try to fix things with John, or should I walk away from everything? I've made so many mistakes and I don't know if there's a way to make things right. I'm asking for advice because I don't want to make another wrong choice. What should I do? If you're in my shoe, what will you do? Please help me.